Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all very much for joining us. Here we are from Cygnet.One, the leader in tax technology and finance technology in India. We have more than 1,000 clients to whom we provide services, and we also provide similar services in more than 35 countries. Thank you all for joining us. And what we will do is we will provide practical AI use cases that actually help you in your day-to-day work. So without wasting any more time, I'll now quickly go through the slides. We have 5 use cases to present to you, and we will be going through each of those. Going to the next slide. How do I move this? Okay, here we are, right? And I'll just reduce this. So we already know about the rising complexities and tighter mandates. As the graph in the center shows, your data handling is increasing by the day, exponentially. Before you used to have just paper invoices and emails. Now you have e-invoices which virtually come in thousands. And hence your data handling complexities are increasing. The regulatory authorities, the tax authorities, whether it's the income tax or the GST, are already having AI-based algorithms to look at your audit trails, your complete data. So it's very important that businesses also adopt the same mechanisms to ensure they are audit ready at all times. We estimate the average cost of inaction by businesses to be approximately $28,500. And the reason for that being manual data handling results in transcription errors and there are approval delays. There are the invoice mismatches between the purchase orders, the GRNs, the exception reworks, and there's a compliance validation effort with poor status visibilities. And these data that we have is taken from the references which are given at the bottom of the slide. And we can share them with you on request, right? So there's a manual review overload. You all must be handling ERPs. You have emails that come daily, the vendor portals to go to, the government portals. So majority of your time is spent reading and extracting, and you have just a little bit of time to analyze. What it results in is mixed credits, suboptimal working capital due to skipped ITC items, and then the GST master data errors, which are inconsistent, and the e-bill errors and the compliance flags, and the exception bottlenecks like late discovery of payment blocks, vendor non-compliance, and reconciliation gaps, right? All these are overheads, and what we help you with is the AI-assisted review layer. What Cygnet.One does is it extracts the data in a structured form from all the kinds of incoming invoices to you or incoming documents, whether they are PDFs or emails or even images. We do the validation and prioritization, and we cross-check that against the master data, the rules, and the purchase orders. And we are able to flag the anomalies, which are the high-risk vendors and which are the deadlines that you need to adhere to. And at the end, we provide you the option of human in the loop to take a decision. And the decision maker can actually take that call to approve or to reject, right? So we present to you Signova, the AI layer of Cygnet. It is the AI-assisted review layer. And today we are going to demonstrate 5 of these use cases. The first one being the master data intelligence, the auto invoice posting, where we auto digitize the invoices, the GST classification and ITC to determine eligibility and auto populate your GSTR 3B, the AI enabled account payables and receivables, in which you can highlight the exception risks and vendor signals, and the notices which you get virtually in thousands now to analyze them and provide you an automated draft response for you to be sent to the regulatory authorities. Now, one by one, I will briefly talk about the use cases, and then we will come to a demonstration of each of these 5 use cases, right? So the first use case that I want to talk about is the master data cleanup. and provide you the HSN and service access code classifications. So we all know what the problem is. You will be having thousands and hundreds of thousands of SKUs and items in your inventory. An example is given here, for example, bearings, pipes, L brackets, etc., depending on what particular domain you work in. We are able to semantically analyze these, and we use our AI agents to validate and map it directly against the statutory government approved HSNs. And what we provide you at the end is clean structured data with the item having its correct HSN code up to 10 digits, and you are ready to update that in your inventory and go forward. So the outcome is a consistent HSN mapping across catalogs, drastically reducing your downstream e-invoice and e-waybill errors at the source, right? And we will be demonstrating this, how it happens. The second use case that I want to talk to you about, and we will demonstrate also, is the AI-powered invoice digitization. It does a template agnostic extraction with a GST and e-invoice aware validation, which is enterprise ready. It reduces the manual effort substantially, up to 80%. It does a built-in GST and QR code validation. It provides you a ERP-ready structured output. It's capable of multi-channel ingestion, whether it's through an SFTP folder, it's a portal that you download data from, or if it's a PDF that's come into your mail, or we can do a API integration with the source. We extract the data using our AI engine, and we validate the information, whether it's a GSTIN, which is valid, or the QR code, whether it matches, and whether the e-invoice is against you or somebody else. We do a human review and we provide you an exception for approval or rejection. That's the human in the loop. And the result is a ERP-ready output that you can straight away take into your ERP in a structured data format. So what Cygnet provides is a template agnostic extraction, built-in validations, and it highlights the mismatches and also provides you the human in the loop for approvals, right? The third use case that I want to talk about is the AI engine that ensures your ITC is eligible, and it also helps you in pre-populating and preparing your GST 3B. So an example has been given here of some line items, and we will, through our AI engine, tell you whether the ITC is eligible or it's blocked. And we provide you the logic as to why it's being blocked by actually telling you the sections of law under which it is being blocked. And this enhances your audit readiness. It protects capital by systematically reducing the credit leakage. And it is in contrast to what competitors might give you for maximizing your gain revenue, but you are then liable to risk and audits from the tax regulators. So as I explained, the AI classifies the ITC eligibility line by line, and against so many of the rules, statuses, place of supply, and other GST regulations. The fourth use case that I want to talk about, and we will demonstrate this, is that you can use the AI-based accounts, payables, and receivables to highlight and create a risk radar. The payment blocks and aging risks are discovered normally in the manual cases towards the end of the month when time is short. But what we provide you is that we do it as the purchases or sales are happening. We connect the AP, AR, vendor master, and compliance data, and we highlight the exceptions well before the due dates. So you are prepared and you are having enough time to ensure that your complete data is ready at the end of the month. The fifth and last use case that we are going to talk about today and also demonstrate is the notice management system, where your hundreds of thousands of notices which you're getting from the regulators are analyzed, and we extract all the information. For example, which authority has issued the notice, what is the deadline for responding to it, what is the demand that's come from the regulator, and what is the suggested response you should give based on the AI engine, which will prepare the response from our side. In addition, we also provide similar cases which have been fought in the appellate tribunals or in the high courts or Supreme Courts, which relate to your particular notice, and you can use that as a support along with your response mechanisms. So these are the 5 use cases that we are going to talk about, but that's not enough. We have a total of 26 such tax and finance AI use cases, and you can have a look at these here. We have provided a list, and it'll take me time to read through that, so I would not like to do that, but we'll share a list with you, and you can come back to us in case we can talk to you about any one of those, right? Here are the 15 use cases, and here are the remaining ones. So more than 25 use cases. What we solve here is document complexity, delayed reports, hidden anomalies, fragmented knowledge, and inconsistent decisions, all to ensure that you're audit ready and compliant at all times. Now, the reviewer workbench, as I mentioned, that while we use the AI engines, but we always provide you a human in the loop to take a decision. Is it worth approving, or do I need to give a manual override on this? And along with this, our AI engine continuously learns and provides that intelligence back into the AI layer so that the next time the case comes, it has used your knowledge to provide you the correct output. We have in our AI layer enterprise grade AI governance, where we ensure that every AI decision is traceable so that you can find out where, at what time, what decision was taken. We have versioning for the rules and the prompts so that we are preserving the audit trail, and the logs are available at all times for auditability. We ensure privacy of information, whatever is private, the SPI, then the PII, and we have enterprise-grade security through our various certifications that we have of international security standards. So while we have the AI system, but it conforms to the enterprise and the global standards of IT as well as security. Now, where you would like to start your journey is what you will all be wondering, and we have prepared a simple matrix here which shows us what is the low effort and low impact. Low effort, but it will provide you high impact. So look at all these use cases, of which we are going to demonstrate as well, as to which are the high impact but really low effort use cases that you can go for in a very short time. Some are more complex use cases which we can discuss with you in your own time and take you through all of them. I will now go to the last slide, which talks about the speed and protection and strategic shift. We will provide you speed through almost 80% improvement in throughput, protection of working capital through the rigid controls that we provide on ITC claims, and decrease in the man-hours that are used to provide the same efficiency otherwise, right? We will now quickly go through the demonstration of the use cases one by one. The first demonstration will be done by Rahul. He's from our team, and that will be on the master data cleanup. So I will now hand over to Rahul to take you through the demonstration. Over to you, Rahul.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So uh, before I start the demonstration, so I'll give you the exactly what actually happens in the large organization is when you're working for over a year, you are keep on adding the plans, you're onboarding the vendors, you're going through the ERP upgrade, merger acquisitions, you're merging different ERP data, your acquisition ERP is different and your ERP is different. You are then merging it in a single form and all. So items are keep on getting created. With even the same material is getting created in the multiple ways. The metal codes are even the description on the material is same, but the metal codes are different. So what we did is that how we can analyze, how we can identify. Obviously, humanly it is not possible because if it's a lacks of material codes being created into the system, which is obviously the role of the MDM team to create that, it is very difficult. And sometimes it happens that at a different branch level or the plant level also, the same code is same material is being created because there is no centralized creation of that is happening if different systems are getting created in that. So on a holistic way, if you see different codes having a very slight descriptions, like if, for example, if I'm in a part of the NDM team, I create a ball bearing for a specific plant, I'll mention some plant code or something in that. And if I belong to some different region, or maybe if it is a global, let's say I belong to New York, same code is being created, I'm creating the same. So if you see the difference of the even the product is same, I'm keep on creating the different product. HS codes are also getting created. Sometimes it is same, sometimes it's different. So humanly, it is not possible to go identify each and every things and do it. And then it comes the exact problem to the tax and the finance team. When it reaches to them, by then obviously your entire problem has been exposed. It has been compounded over the years, and now it is very difficult for you to make sure that this is being addressed and correctly. Uh, the problem has been identified correctly. Let me move to the screen. Let me share my screen. Please confirm once you all are able to see the screen.
Not yet.
Is it
Yes,
visible?
your screen is
Yeah.
visible now.
Okay, thank you. So see,
Yeah.
what we have done is that we have created a option available where you can, I mean, upload option is available just for a quick demo purpose. What we are going to do is, uh, so there, let's say, for example, different material groups are there. So say there's a single material group under that, there is a different HSN code, plant-wise specific, and you have a material code is being created. In large ERPs like in the SAP, you have a short code and the long text, short text and the long text side of a model available. Now, how to identify when I'm creating that? Will I have to merge the data? Will I have to keep the same output ready with that? So when I run this agent, what the agent will do, it will first go and check the material code which is there in that. It will read the semantic definition of these short descriptions. Then it goes to the long description. A canonical description will be created based on these short text and the long text. Obviously, HSC is one of a part, which I'll show in the later stage. So what the system does is that based on this material code, the short text, long text, it understands the semantic of that, and then it identify whether in the entire master the same thing has been created or not. Uh, it belongs to a same material family. If the material group is same, the family is same, but somebody has created the uh, same material with a very slight difference of that. Let's say uh, fly ash thermal. Somebody mentioned dry thermal, but actual product was same. How it is being identified when you go to the PO informations. So if you see, what we are taking is that we are taking your material master data, we are taking your PO line items, we are taking your material group master, we are taking the long text which is created, and combining all three, the system gives you a very uniform output and giving you a flag that how many of your material code where the exact merging is required. So where you will merge those data, how many of those where there is a slight difference, it is a near match which is need to be reviewed by the team. So it will be automatically orchestrate that to the specific department, that which department has to follow what sort of activity and all. We are also taking the vendor variance threshold and the price lookup also, why it is needed. So material master cleanup is one part, but what we are giving an additional part is that we are also checking the same material is being procured by maybe the same vendor or the different vendor, at what price difference you have taken that. So whether it is you can set the variance 10%, 20% variance I want to check. And this price lookup, because it's a dynamic market, same material can be procured 1 month back, and now in this month price might be changed. So you can define the threshold also, that okay, I wanted to look up this price on what sort of, it's a 24-month, 12-month of cycle, 6 month of cycle, you can do it. What the system will do, the uploaded format what we have done, it will go and check it. So this is on the upload option, but the same way is happening through the API based option also. Because first you have to understand the cleanup activity, and then because it's a lakhs of materials you are creating, and it will take a lot of time for doing this activity. Now let me show you one direct report before I move to the SN classification part also.
Yeah, Rahul, you'll have to,
Yeah.
because we have 4 more demonstrations to give.
Yes, I'll complete it. So what the system does is that it gives you a proper summary of that information, that what exactly you need to do, how many of those where you need the exact merging required, how many of those are which is completely okay. where there is an HSN is valid or invalid, this is also getting identified. System also check the HSN code which is mentioned is also matching with the same chapter or the subchapter or the heading also. So multiple options are available. It is getting, let me directly go to the worker status sheet, which gives you the final report. If you see this, let me zoom it. One can see better. Hope it's visible now better. So there is a proper evidence and the confidence and the decision is being created. So how many type of decisions are there? You can merge. There is a duplicate active, merge exact. There is a near match. Pricing are high. So if I go and see, it also gives you that there are same material, same vendor price variance 78% in the last 24 month or last 1 month or last 12 month, whatever threshold you are keeping it. There is a HSN code, multi-rate headings are there. It's a petroleum product where the sales variables, sales varies by product type. So all of these comes from the when you do the cleanup of the system. So this is one of a part from the material master. Now, if we also do the yeah, so we also do the HSN finding of that also. Let's say I wanted to understand from the product description what exactly this solution does is that we know that many a times when we want to create the when we buy the new product, we wanted to understand the what is the HSN code applicable to that. For example, if it is, let's say, skin lightening cream, for example, this is one of which belongs to FMCG product, and I wanted to see what is the HSN code of that. uh, HSN code always has one of a key part that the product description which is getting entered or which is mentioned in the PO might be a problematic. I mean, it requires a lot of different input also. This is one of an example I'll show. Skin lightening cream. It could be anything. I mean, it could be cold cream, it could be any one. But if I'm mentioning this, what is the HSN code belongs to for this particular description? System goes check the HS code master as per the India GST CBIC site. There is a rate record with GST. Always keep on updating. It gives you the final with which GST is applicable, which HSN code is matching highly on this. Obviously, it requires review. Why the confidence is medium? Because screen lightning cream has multiple different variants. It has subheading definitions where lip makeup has a different code. When I go to the 6 digit, eye makeup has a different code. So this is coming because there is another beautician. As soon as I entered code, now it will completely change. So that's where the product descriptions identification of the HS code is required, and what is the applicable GST is to be applicable is also one of a key part. When you're
Okay.
doing the export import, then there is a WCO related information, and all of those also part of that. Yeah, just let me finish this. Yeah, so you can see that on the higher accuracy side, it is saying that for if you have as soon as you mention the cold cream, skin lightening cold cream, the exact HSN code is this one with a GST rate and confidence is high. Yeah, and then we are also mentioning about the export import. If you are doing the export import, what is the WCO standard talks about this particular HS code? Yeah, over to you.
Thank you very much, Rahul.
Mm.
That was a great demonstration. Of course, it's very complex, and I'm sure the audience will understand that sorting out the complexity of your materials and your SKUs and your inventories, which have built over years and will be literally in lakhs for large industries, will be a real challenge. And here is where we bring the support of AI to help you work through that mess, remove the duplicate entries, the correct HSN identifications, the correct service code identifications, and provide you that service. Rahul, if you can stop sharing, we will go to the next demo.
Yeah, I've stopped sharing. Is it still visible?
No, it's good, Rahul. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. So the if we can go to the next demonstration.
Yes, so the second demonstration is for our IDP platform, which is Invoice Intelligence Platform. Now, as enterprises, you receive multiple invoices from your suppliers. These can be domestic invoices, these can be import invoices, and it is humanly impossible to keep entering those details manually within the ERP.
Please show the
And
screen,
leads,
Sanket.
sorry,
You share the screen, yeah.
let me do that. And organizations end up maybe entering incorrect data or missing a set of validations which they need to run, and which later on become a challenge during reconciliation process. So this is where we come in with our AI-based invoice intelligence platform, which not only helps you to extract the data, uh, it is template agnostic and runs the required set of validations and is enterprise ready to deliver at scale. So let me go ahead and quickly demonstrate the same. Okay, please let me know when my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so here's the IDP platform that we have, which is an AI-driven intelligence platform. Now, let me just move this window slightly. Okay, so as an organization, this is the workbench that you see where once the invoices come in, you're able to view how many invoices have been entered here, how many of them currently are in queue, how many of them are processing, for how many of has the processes been completed, and how many have got stuck or failed for one or other reason. And from a validation perspective, because we run required GST validations in depth, these are the current statuses that you see in terms of how many of them have been fully approved, or let's say needs review, it deserves some attention, or some of them have failed the required validations which have been turned mandatory, let's say the GST status or any other checks that we want to run. Now, so let's start with the first step, which is the import. So the way you would typically ingest the documents or import the document to the platform, it can be done via the portal itself. So let's say I can go ahead, select an invoice, and the processing can start. Similarly, the same set of invoices can be imported into the system via APIs. The system is equipped to handle or ingest invoices via API, and it has required webhook support available for the same. And because there are invoices which are also received, let's say over emails, physical copies which teams can, same can also be placed into a folder where we can have a bot which picks up those invoices from those emails or from the SFTP folder, or uploads it to the this invoice intelligence platform. Or there is also a built-in capability available here to support the SFTP, and also from an email reader perspective, if you are having, let's say, the Gmail or the Outlook support available. So all those three mechanisms, be it from the portal, be it via API, be it SFTP, be it from the emails, or an external mechanism where we can deploy a bot to ingest this data into the platform, all of those mechanisms can be supported for an enterprise to handle this at scale. Now, once the invoices get ingested, how do they get processed? So let me show you some examples. So this is one example of an invoice which I've double clicked, and it opens. Now, the system has a facility of not only extracting data from, so the biggest challenge that organizations we see is suppliers have different formats, right? They have different templates. Their table structures, the way they place the data can significantly vary across the invoice. So the system starts with identifying whether the document which is ingested is an invoice or not. So there is a classification that happens. So the detection of whether this document is an invoice. It also goes ahead and extracts the data. So on the right-hand side, you see the invoice PDF copy. And when I click on the left-hand side, this is where it has extracted the data from. It helps identify the particular section from where the data is extracted. So this extracts data at the header level, be it in terms of all the invoice number, the invoice date. In case if there is a purchase order present, number present, it extracts that, the vendor name, the address of the vendor, the GSTN. So all the header data, the seller buyer details. followed with the CGST, let's say the SGST, the total amount of the invoice. Not only that, it also goes ahead and checks, it also extracts the line item level data from the invoice. For example, there is one line item here, the HSN, the quantity, the rate, amount. And if we scroll here, you see a remaining set of data, which it extracts from the invoice. So the line item data also gets extracted. So the header data, the relevant invoice fields, the line item data, it also checks whether there are a set of GST checks that we execute here, which helps us identify whether the invoice, whether the seller GSTN is active or not at the type of when the invoice is received. Whether there are checks around whether the GST and the seller GSTN is e-invoice mandatory or not. If it is invoice mandatory, is there an e-invoice QR code which is available on the document or not? So here's the QR code that you see for the e-invoice. That data is also extracted, and the same is then run in terms of validations to check whether the header data and the QR code data also match with each other or not. So you can go to the validation section to see what all checks are being executed here in terms of whether there is, so we can define mandatory set of fields. So the invoice number, the invoice date, the total amount, the tax amount, all of that can be defined as the fields which need to be mandatory extracted. There can be optional validations, the GST checks, the QR code related checks, all of that is configurable from an invoice perspective, and they can be configured from this section. So here's the list of all the validations. There are about 45, 50 plus validations here. For example, the GST status check, whether the GSTN is active on the date of the invoice. The invoice validity itself from a date perspective, the overall, all necessary fields that we mandatorily want to extract from the invoice, we can turn on the mandatory part. We recommend a set of checks to be turned on. It also executes, there are also validations which make sure that the data that is extracted is correct. For example, the rate in the quantity is a taxable amount. In case if there is a PO number, it has to be less than a certain set of digits. In most ERPs, we see that there is a limitation of 10 digits, which is what we've selected here. Practical scenarios, we have seen that if for some reason the line item quantity or is more than, let's say, 10,000, the ERP data undergoes a dump scenario, which creates a challenge for the customer. So we've even gone ahead and included validations like these onto the 10 lakh limits onto the platform. So all those checks, is the invoice number extracted, the invoice date extracted? If there is a mandatory PO data number requirement on the invoice that you have for your vendors, we can even turn on the PO number thing on, or we can say it's an optional check. All of that is doable and possible. So including all the QR code related checks, the extraction related checks, all of that becomes configurable from this particular screen. Okay. So a significant value add to what organizations might be typically missing while they are doing their regular data entry into the ERP when they are posting the invoice.
Okay.
Now, so
Sanket,
this is, yes.
Yeah. We have some more thing to show.
Yes, just a couple of minutes. So there are scenarios where we also support, let's say, import invoices. Those are also supported in case if there are invoices where where we have to, let's say, there is a PO number which is mandatory. We can even cover that as a part of the overall process. All of those scenarios, be it a scanned invoice, even if the quality of the invoice is bad, we are able to extract that and manage this from the platform. Now, last but not the least, what the platform offers is, in case if you want to exempt a set of checks, let's say we don't want to run any check on a particular vendor because there might be a set of vendors, we can go ahead and add those here. You can export the data that is created as a result of the extraction. Now that can happen via API. That can also be downloaded from the UI here at a per document level or in bulk from this screen. Now, if you want to see overall, what is the overall performance of the organization in terms of the extraction, the entire count for a certain duration can be visible here in terms of how many documents have come in, what has been the performance, the time taken for extraction, the average processing time, how many of them have undergone checks, which validations have failed, so that you can also inform vendors in time and improve upon this as the time progresses. All of that is mentioned here. The system is completely configurable to see to handle what kind of fields do you want to show, which fields do you want to hide, which filters do you want to keep, which filters do you want to hide on the screen, what are the roles and permissions that you want to give to different kind of users within a particular role category. So all of that becomes configurable. And in case if you already have an API and you're using it via that, the same can be taken to your ERP, parked there, and the users can take action from your ERP itself. So fully configurable, intuitive platform
Okay.
to handle your needs from that perspective.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sanket, for your demonstration of the invoice import and digitization. Let's go to the third demonstration now. That will be done by Robin for the ITC eligibility and GSTR 3B auto population. Over to you, Robin.
Thank you, Sanket.
Keep in mind the time that we have, because we have after you 2 more demonstration to go. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Sure. So thank you again, sir. So while Sanket just walked you through how our IDP platform digitizes and extracts the data from the purchase invoices, I would now like to show you what happens next, specifically for those who are engaged actively into the ITC eligibility or dealing actively day in, day out with the GSTR 3B classification and the analysis of the eligibility for ITC. So the problem that we are trying to highlight or we are trying to address with this specific solution arises from the case wherein there is a disconnect between which usually persists between the point of booking or the processing of the invoice and the actual compliance analysis taken at the point of GST filing or 3B filing. Now, due to this disconnect, what happens at times is the team end up doing multiple efforts or doubling the efforts every compliance cycle. Now, what we have built is an AI-powered ITC eligibility identification or analyzer, along with a suggestive GSTR 3B classification engine. And this exactly works in a manner how would a tax professional would analyze any given such invoice. Similar to that manner, it also analyzes and asks whether the ITC for a specific given expense is eligible or ineligible. It also analyzes the backend reasons that if it is an ineligible ITC, what is the reason? And what should be the tentative treatment in the GSTR 3B?
Yeah.
However, the
Please
AI
share your
does
screen,
this.
Robin. Please share your screen.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Just a minute. I'll just share this. I hope the screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Sure. So the point that I was quoting is that AI does this as a whole activity consistently at scale and in seconds. So this eliminates the subjectivity and the manual efforts that typically goes into this exercise. Now, depending on the different needs of the and demands from the industries, so this specific solution of GST R3B classification and ITC eligibility can be used at 2 different stages. First is some organizations prefer a pre-booking deployment, so they wish to ensure that every entry which is getting posted, even before getting posted, get backed by an ITC analysis. And some industries or some organizations prefer to get this deployed at the post-booking or at the reconciliation stage. For that as well, the bulk data upload facility and the add-in integrations are working seamlessly with the AI capabilities for this solution. Now, since the upload, extraction, and the interface part for this AI platform that is currently visible to you has already been demonstrated by Sanket, I'll not again repeat those specific steps, although those remain intact and in place for each and every invoice for which ITC eligibility is also supposed to be analyzed. But what I want to focus or draw your attention is on the specific ITC analysis that this system does. Given that context, I'll take you to certain sample invoices. So this is one of the sample invoice that has been processed by the AI engine. So this specific AI assistant tab, which you are able to see, contains the complete detailed analysis alongside the view of the actual document that has been processed, which would give you at the instance a quick summary table, which would contain all the required details that have been extracted by the system regarding the supplier, the recipient, the invoice details, the details regarding the place of supply identified, whether the specific indicator for reverse charge has been mentioned over the invoice or not, what has been the nature of the transaction. So if we would see in the invoice on the right hand side, we could see that the item description written over here is it is in subscription license for Zoho Desk Enterprises, and it has correctly identified that there is a B2B supply of online software subscription charges. Post that, it is also giving the analyzing the ITC eligibility, where it is showing that it is likely eligible. The supposed or the proposed GSTR 3B section, which it is showing at to be reported under two different tables under GSTR 3B, that is 4A5 and 4D1, basis the PR written period. So by PR written period, we mean to say the recording in the books of accounts period, that is the purchase written period, and the corresponding GSTR to be written period. So if we take into consideration the compliance of Circular 170 as issued by the GST department, the GSTR 2B period, wherein the invoice would have initially been reflected in the GSTR 2B, is earlier than when it is recorded into the books of accounts. So accordingly, the treatment would have decided by the system, and it is giving 4A5 4D1. All the rest of the details regarding the quantity, rate, taxable values, and everything is being analyzed by the system and given over here. This summary itself gives a justifiable ITC eligibility treatment, as well as the GSTR 3B classification section. If the viewer wants to visit the detailed analysis that the system has conducted, we have also kept the gate-wise ITC evaluation. So there are several gates which the system runs through each and every invoice and identifies the ITC eligibility and the GSTR 3B classification section. So if we check about the supplier and invoice validity, the system would check for the recipient eligibility, business versus personal exempt use. So if in this case, if we see, it is giving the reason that this is a software subscription which is normally used for business support and IT operations, given the context that this is an Cygnet's invoice. So we are an IT industry company into the IT operations. So it is taken that specification, and there is no indication for personal or exempt output. Whether it is a blocked credit under section 17.5 or not, it would identify along with the reasons. Whether there has been an incorrect mismatch in the place of supply due to which any specific transaction would move to 4D2, or where the ITC availability itself in the 2B itself has said as no. Whether the goods or services has been received or not, whether there has been a bearing of the time limit under section 16.4, whether that has been surpassed or it is yet to arrive and we are eligible for the claim. The 180-day payment reversal rule, applicability for the capital goods and depreciation, the availability of the reverse charge mechanism for this specific transaction, and certain duplication and fraud indicators. At last, the third point would be giving the overall ITC conclusion, wherein it would tell that it is unlikely eligible or ineligible ITC, what all are the gate references, which quickly, if the user or the viewer wanted to refer, he can or she can refer to get the overall complete linked visibility of how the system have arrived to this particular thing. The transaction classification, whether it is an input services input or simply a capital goods. Tax split, whether the ITC at risk or not, and how would the GST 3B treatment look like. So again, as discussed earlier above, for the same invoice, it was giving 4A5 and 4D1. So this system has been made in compliance with Circular 170. So there such reversals and reclaims treatments are being accordingly aligned. I'll quickly show you another sample invoice. So
Yeah,
this is
quickly, Robin.
yes, sir. Just a minute. So this is an hotel invoice. If we could see, this is a hotel named The Park, which is based out at Bangalore, and the guest has been from Mr. Abhishek Nandan, from someone registered from Gujarat. So if we see the quick summary table, it shows that the supplier GSTN is from Karnataka state, the recipient is from Gujarat. Accordingly, it also analyzes that this is an likely ineligible ITC. Why so? Because the Gujarat registration is based for the recipient, and the POS is based out of Karnataka, giving reference to the section 12 subsection 3 of the Act of the GST Act regarding the place of supply to be identified for immovable property related services, and hence it is again giving the reference that how would it be treated. So it would be directly reported under section 4D2. Bearing reporting under any other specific table, it would directly be disclosure under section 4D2. So and similar to this also, if the user wants a detailed evaluation, the user can view the whole evaluation that the system has conducted in the same manner. The structured outputs and the similar nature of the rule engine that has been built analyzes each and every invoice in isolation, in independently. The logics have been built such as strong that it would give more of an outcome that a tax professional otherwise would have given.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Pankaj.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Thank you very much for that demonstration on the ITC eligibility that our AI engine validates, checks, tells you whether you can claim it, and also it will give you the reasons and the GST applicable laws and regulations. A detailed demonstration given by Robin, our ITC expert. We'll now move on to the account payables and account receivables AI engine that also helps you highlight risks and outliers. So this demonstration will be given of our AI-based chatbot, Signova AI, by Henil. Over to you, Henil.
Hello everyone. So I'll just quickly go over what APR is. So basically APR is our AI integration into the existing Cygnet products, which takes your data, lets you ask questions and detect risks and anomalies about your data. So I'll just quickly show, it's better to show you in a demo. I'll just quickly share my screen and we can go. Please let me know once the screen is visible.
Yes, visible.
Okay. I'll just quickly go over some questions and then we can move on.
So this is a chat engine on which you can enter your queries and ask questions about your account payables and account receivables. If you see on the left hand side, there are pre-configured menu items also, which gives you sales report. Henil, if you can click on one of those.
Sure.
And it'll tell you whether you want a monthly report, 3 months, quarterly, 6 months, or the entire, or even a custom range. Similarly, for the purchases, you can do that. And now you see the AI engine has given the response.
So this is a list of all of your customers, and you can even download an Excel. Since we did not want the UI to be cluttered here, what you have done is gone ahead and added an option. So here in the data there are 500 customers, right? So you can download an Excel and you see the whole data as well if the data size is too large. Next, I'll go over a sales report for a particular month. So let's say I want a particular sales report for a particular month. I can ask it as well. And it will go over your data and the product which product you are using, and then output it accordingly. Okay, so here's the data. Here's a view of the sales report that's been generated. And yeah, as I said, you can even download your data here as well. So next, let's ask a follow-up question. Basically, this is just one sales report. If you want to follow up, you can, let's say you want to rank those your vendors, a customer. So you
So while the results come up, panelists and attendees, you find a poll that has been flashed on the screen. I'll request you to kindly make your choices, um, and please submit this to us. It'll help us to understand what exactly you're looking for and also reach out to you in case you need that. Thank you very much.
so
Kindly respond to the poll. Yeah, over to you, Hanel.
yeah, here's the ranking based on the invoice count. So we asked the AI bot to give us the same sales report ranking, but based on the invoice count. So here's it is. Again, we can download the Excel. Now I'll just quickly show you similar thing for purchase. So I'll use these quick buttons right now. So let's say you want a purchase report for your last year. So you can quickly click that button and it will give you that report.
And while this result comes up, you can also understand that we can pull out outliers from this data also. So there's a question from Madhav Reddy. He's asking, apart from GST, what other features are there?
Okay.
Sanket, would you like to respond to this question while I take on the API demo?
Sure. This is the purchase report for the last year. As you can see here, total taxable amounts, average invoice amounts, and outstanding amounts with the vendor name and the number of invoices there. Now let's go over the anomalies part. So I'll quickly just paste a question here. Can you find me anomalies in my purchase invoice?
Yeah, while that results come up, I'll request you to kindly respond to the poll which is on your screen right now.
Okay. Here, the bot is asking questions back, follow-up questions, so that it can exactly detect. So let's say I want to detect amount anomalies. So I'll just go tell it B for now. So if there are any unusually high amount invoices from a particular vendor. So if a vendor has an average invoice value of 2 lakhs and suddenly there's a jump in a single particular invoice, the bot is able to detect it and give out the output here. So here is a list of invoices, and you can see here, so the vendor average was around 2 lakh and the value was quite bit higher than the average value. So it was flagged here. You get the invoice number and the vendor name here as well, and there's a z-score attached to it. So if you want, you can even ask what was this based on. So I can ask.
So on the bottom right-hand side, you might see of this screen, there's a mic. So in case required, you can even talk to it just like you talk on a WhatsApp. Press it to talk and ask a query and leave it, and it will take the query and then respond to your question.
So basically, here is the how it calculated the z-score. So basically, we take a standard deviation of your invoice amounts and then we measure it accordingly. If it's higher than a particular threshold value, we flag it. That's what the answer here is.
Okay.
Now we can even, if you want, we can go over the aging queries here as well. So let's say I want a aging bucket query for a purchase invoices. I can quickly use this aging bucket option and then output that as well. So what this will do is create buckets for past 30, 60, 90 and 90 plus days for my purchase invoices and create a report out of it.
And while this result comes up, I'll request you to kindly respond to the poll which on your screens right now. Thank you.
Yes. So here's the aging bucket part. You can see 1 to 30 days, 31 to 60, 60 to 90, and 90 plus days, and the amount. Now I'll just quickly go over. So here's a multi-stage query. Give me my top 3 vendors with reconciliation match. So this bot also processes your reconciliation data as well for a particular month and rank them by the transaction amounts. So here are the top 3 vendors, the total transaction counts and the transaction amount with who had a reconciliation match in the particular month of Jan 2026. So these were some of the queries I wanted to share. That's
Okay.
it from us.
Thank you very much, Hanil, for the demonstration.
Thank you, sir.
And this was a demo of the account payables, account receivables, and what risks you can query and outliers you can detect from your sales and purchase reports. I will now, last demonstration that we have is from Swati. So Swati, can you quickly run us through the notice management systems? I know we are running out of the time, but I'll request all participants to kindly continue to stay here.
Yeah.
Over to you, Swati.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm just presenting my screen. Let me know once it's visible. Yeah, is this visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So currently that we know that that the GST in the GST era, government is issuing multiple notices. So in the Cygnet has prepared a one solution, that the litigation management system, that is enable with the AI assistance, that will help the user or the tax heads to get the notices from the GST portal through the API. And once we receive the notices through the API, or maybe the user can upload the notices also, the system will read the notices, will understand that why this notice has been issued, which authority this notice has authority has issued these notices, and what is the what user need to take action, and on which timeline these actions need to be taken up. These all information will be extracted by the user, that we design this particular solution with the help of AI. Ki what are the required information that user want to review when he received any notices, and what the next step he want to done when he give to the reply to the particular notices. Now you can see on my screen that this solution is able to read the multiple type of notices. When we talk about multiple type of notices, it's like when you received a scrutiny notices in ASMT 10, when you received show cause notices in DRC 01A or DRC 01, you received any enforcement notices, you received any audit notices. So these are the you can say the frequent notices type which you received from the GST department. When system received these notices, it's read by an AI and it present this information. These are visible on my screen, that the that we will identify that for which particular location or for the GST its notice has been issued, for which particular tax period this notice has been issued, what is the reference number of the notices against you have to give reply, what is the notice date on which the notice has been issued, and the notice due date on which you have to file and reply. Sometimes this notice date is given on the notices, or sometimes it's written like that you have to file and reply on the next 15 days or in the next 30 days. So the system will understand this also, these lines also, and give you the notice due date on which you have to file and reply. After that, apart from these information, we are also able to identify through our AI that the person or the officer who has this notice issued, like the officer name, the designation of the officer who has this issued notice, and the jurisdiction of the notices, and the most important thing, whether in which form time this notice has been issued, whether it is a DRC 01, whether it is a ASMT 10, and the section which is applicable on this notice. So when the user review this information, the information is already available on the system, that can be used by the user to filing a reply, or before he proceed to prepare for the reply. Apart from that, the system is also able to read the demand amount which is given in the notice in the table format. When we see any notice, the information which is available in the notice, that the demand amount is available in the table format, and sometimes the values is not given in the one line also. Still our system will able to read this notice properly. It will extract the demand value from the table, that which table should be extracted to give the complete demand values. So this information is completely available on the portal, that these are the information which is extracted from the AI and available to the user to work on the part. So the analysis part of the user will be very less, that what is the basic information, or you can say on which particular things the notice has been issued, and what is the total demand amount on which we have to give a reply. Here we are extracting one more information, that is the authority, whether the notice is related to the state authority or with the central authority. Sometimes the both the authority issues the notice on the same particular you can say the same issue or same ground. So you can fight. So we give this information so that user can identify whether for the same tax period, if why the state authority and why the central authority both have issued the notices. So this information is also available on the by extracted by the AI and given to the user. After that, the major part that we can say, that which are the grounds on which the notice has been issued. And when he prepared the reply, these grounds on each and every ground he have to file a reply, or whether whether he is accepting this allegation which is raised by the department, or whether he want to file a reply by giving his you can say by giving his evidence why this is the allegation is wrong. So our AI system, you can say that when we read the allegations, these mostly the notices are 15 to 20 pages long. When a human read these notices, he will require 10 to 15 minute minimum to read, and when he started preparing this reply, he will give again a 1 to 2 hour to understand the notice in a proper way, to when he to start the collection of the document he will to prepare the reply. So all this information will be extracted by the AI, that what is the allegations on which the notice is issued. So here you can see the multiple line items which is created. These are the different allegations, or are the grounds on which the notice has been issued. So system will identify will read the complete notices, will understand the notices, why this notice has been issued. After that, he will create these titles, why the for each and every allegations, like while the short payment of tax on liabilities declared under taxable supplies in GST.9, will prepare a short description of the allegation, and will also provide you the demand amount, particularly at a issue level. So the system is given you the demand values at a total level, that this is the total demand amount involved in the particular litigation, and at the issue at each, and also the demand values at each and every ground. Here you can see the multiple grounds is extracted by the system. For each ground, a title is given, a description is prepared, and also a demand value, or you can say the issue amount which is involved in the particular uh, ground, that is also given. Now when we talk, now he have to start prepare a reply for particular when he have to file a reply in the next 15 days or 30 days. So already analysis is already done by the system, that this is the notice, these are the information against which you have to file and reply, this is the date on which you have to file and reply, that this is the legal due date on which the system will also send a notification to the user that on this date you have to file and reply. Now when he start to prepare reply, or already the other information, like if the with related to the reconciliation with related to the return filing data is already available on the Cygnet portal, that can be utilized to prepare a reply. But to prepare a reply, our system will help at a issue level, that for each and every issue, user provide her decision whether he want to accept it header, or whether he want to context it looking into his data. And based on that, the system will give him a draft reply, That once, and also he can provide a comment at a issue level that these are the additional information that he want to include in the reply when the system is giving you a draft reply preparation already. So he can prepare and he can generate a reply. The system will now, the based on the data, based on the issue level data which is available in the system, and that were extracted by the AI with along with the demand values. Now the user has also given the input that whether what is the additional data which is available with respect and with relevant context, and that should also be utilized in the reply drafting. Apart from that, the system, the AI will will utilize all the GST Act with related to the notification, circular, the Bayer Act, all will be analyzed with relevant issues, allegation which are raised in which are raised in the notices, and will also give a suggestion for the relevant case laws, precedence case laws, or any cases which is already available in our LMS system. So based on all this information, the system will provide a draft structured reply that in this format, whether where there they will give the index, and after that a covering letter will be prepared. After that, each and every issue, whatever allegations or whatever grounds are extracted by the system, each will be picked, will be analyzed with respect to the GST law, with respect to the case laws, precedents, and apart from that, the user inputs. The combination of all three, the system will prepare a issue-wise reply, that what issues will be, that how the reply should be prepared. So based on this, multiple allegations which are raised in the reply, the all information which is available in the system will be utilized, and the user context and the information which is given by the user. So for each and every issue, the reply will be prepared, and after that, user can analyze this reply whether it is as per his expectation or anything. If he want to edit in, that is also available in the system, that he can edit the reply. He can again give his response, and the system will regenerate a new reply as per his change comment. So multiple time reply can be prepared, and the system, and that can be used to file on the GST portal when for the actual submission. And at the end, so this complete structured draft, we have prepared a reply in the structure way, that these are the covering letter. After that, main reply of the document, for reply for each and every issue, if any submission against the penalty, any submission against the interest clause, penalty clause, and at the end, if any prayer and relief is sought by the user, that will be given, and the list of annexures which is given by the user, that will also be will be attached with the reply, so that user can that's a complete set of reply will be prepared. User can download this particular reply in the Word file or in the PDF file, and can be used in the final submission at the GST portal. So, and after that, when the final submission has been done on the GST portal, the LMS will be helped to extract the other, if any additional notice is also issued against the same case, that information will be also extracted by the API integration. So this is related to the notice part, where the system is able to read the notices. If it could be it could be have a 10 pages, 20 pages, 30 pages. There will be no issue. The system is able to read the notices in 1 to 2 minutes, and will give you the extracted data which are related to the notices, and after that, it will help into prepare the reply against that particular notices also. So multiple type of notices like DRC-01, ASMT-10, and audit notices, all are covered in the reply draft party. Yeah. So
Okay, Swati, you're done with the demo?
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your demonstration. And if you can stop sharing your screen.
Yes.
Please feel free to drop the questions in the chat box if you have any.
Yeah, I think if there are no more questions, I'd like to thank everybody, and over to you, Hani, for taking over the seminar from here.
Yes, sir. Thank you everyone for your questions and active participation. A big thank you to all our speakers, Dr. Pankaj, Rahul, Sanket, Robin, and Swati, for sharing valuable insights and practical demonstrations. We hope today's session gave you a clear view of how AI can move beyond buzzwords and support real tax and finance workflows. The recording of the session will be shared with you post webinar. Please follow our page, LinkedIn page of Cygnet.One for more updates. And in case of any queries, you can write an email to kesha.shah@signet.one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a query from Mehak. I'm just trying to answer that. If somebody can reach out to Mehak and ask her, in case we can reach out on one-to-one, I'll be able to better answer her question as
Yes,
to
sir.
where she can get the maximum efficiency gains by using our products. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you, everyone. So we'll be dropping off now. Thank you for your participation.